Here I'm going to be talking about the configuration variables that have to do with text styles. So I'm going to bring up an image that lists a couple of variables, and I'll talk about the first one on the list first. That's MS-DGN-lib list text styles. This is going to specify the specific DGN library files that define the text styles. And then text style definitions and all other DGN libraries will be ignored. So right now I'm in my XYZ standards DGN-lib, and I have all of the text styles I just added that have the blue icon showing me that those are a local style to my DGN-lib. But notice that I have some gray books in here showing me that I have some text styles coming in from another DGN-lib that is being considered the library. So if I look at the file path of where that's at, I have it inside of my feature definitions folder, and it's a DGN-lib. When I went in and imported the text styles from a legacy file into my new ORD DGN-lib, I had temporarily placed that legacy DGN-lib inside of my workspace just for easy access. So you might think, well, how is this getting loaded? So this is going to come from the configuration file on the organization civil level. So we can look at the name here, legacytextstyles.dgnlib. And then if I open up the CFG file, look at line number 123, which is where the MS-DGN-lib list text styles variable is being defined in this file. We are prepending this file location to the variable. So what it's currently looking for is what we call a wildcard. So when you see those asterisks enclosing a piece of text, what it's going to be looking for is under this file path, under the feature definitions folder, it's going to be looking for any file with the file extension DGN-lib that has the words text styles in the name. So when I go and look at the file that I was previously had in that, this is why the text styles from this file were being loaded. So what I'm going to do instead, I could optionally, you can pull from multiple DGN-libs, and you would just add another line with that variable and then pointing to the other file. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to end up removing this file from this path, and I want the variable to instead point directly to this file name. And now I'm going to replace that wildcard with the file name. Now I'm going to save, I'm going to close ORD completely so this configuration file can reload, and then open up a blank DGN. So now I'm in a new file, and if I go into the text styles dialog, I can see all of the text favorites are coming from my XYZ standards DGN-lib. They're no longer coming from the legacy text styles DGN-lib, even though I still have that in that folder path, which I do not need anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Right, next I'm going to take a look at that other configuration variable, which is this long one at the bottom. This is the MS-DGN text editor favorite symbol seed. This is going to specify the XML file that defines the favorite symbols. So let's look at what a favorite symbol is. Right, so here I am in a Scratch DGN. I'm going to go ahead and open up my text editor dialog, and here in the middle we have an icon to place a symbol. So we can place favorite symbols, so that might look like a degree. So just by default we get a couple here at the top of the list. You can also come over to all symbols, and after choosing a font type, you'll have a list of characters that you can choose from to add, either just add directly to your text editor dialog. So I'll go ahead and just add one as an example. Or if we come back over here to all symbols and we right click one, we can add it to our favorites. So now when we go to our symbol drop down and go to favorite symbols, then we're going to see those favorites that we add in here, and then we can add those as text. So next I want to look at where these favorite symbols are being stored. And on line 173 is where I have that variable defined, and it's set equal to a file path. So in the organization civil standards folder under fonts, I have a favorite symbols.xml file, which is going to list all the names of my favorite symbols. So taking a look at Windows Explorer at that location, Under fonts is where I'm going to have that XML. So anytime you add a favorite symbol, it's going to be written to that XML file and then be available for users when they're placing text.